Thanks loads for coming in, guys. We have got tonight recorded, so we'll be able to share it with others that can't be here tonight. But yeah, we've got Steve Oatley here from Run to Paris, all the way from London. Okay, he's got to get all the way home tonight, so let's quickly just give him a quick round of applause. Just thanks for coming, Steve. So for those who don't know, 15 of us from the club participated in an event called Run to Paris last year in May. It was, to most people, I've just spoken to some of the guys tonight, the most memorable experience that they've had with running to date, and it certainly was for me. It was just a fantastic team building road trip with some running thrown in there and a lot of driving as well. But just seeing France in a completely different way, as well as the south of England. So we had a distinct advantage in that we had 3 teams, the only group I think that had 3 teams of 5 runners there, which meant that we could share the load. And actually, instead of sharing the load, a lot of us did extra because we knew that we had backup if we needed it. And the guys, we ended up doing, on average, a load more running than what we actually needed to. And a big part of tonight really is to get over the biggest fear that I'm hearing from people when I talk to them about Run to Paris, and that is, oh gosh, I don't know if I can run that far. So we'll get Steve on, and then we'll say a few more words, and we'll also get Trev up to have a few words on his experience as well, just so you can hear it from someone other than myself and Steve.
Well, hello everybody, and thank you so much for inviting me here tonight. Honestly, it's brilliant to come here. My first time in Cheltenham, which is great. So very excited to see the sights and the sounds of at least this pub. Yeah, a little bit about why we started Run to Paris. So I've been working in events for 15 years, and I've done all sorts of events, like from Chelsea flower shows to gala dinners to taking over Earl's Court to royal events to all sorts of things. But my heart lies in challenge events and in communities coming together to do something incredible. And what we'd noticed about the running market in particular was that, first of all, there wasn't really much innovation in the running market. It was a lot of the same things, like run a circle here, run a circle there, run a circle here. And what was happening was that events were getting longer, harder, further, tougher. You know, it used to be, I'm running a half marathon. That's incredible. Well done. Brilliantly. And then it's, I'm running a marathon. Well, that's incredible. Well done. And then it's, I'm running an ultra marathon. And then it's running a 100K. And then it's running 100 miles. And then it's running the length of Africa. And then it's, ridiculous. And, people do it, and that's brilliant. And I, take my hat off to all of them. But the time, effort, and resource that goes into being able to train for those things, to take part in those things, people have got jobs, people have got families, people have got human bodies that perhaps can't do those sorts of things. So the idea was going to incredible places and running incredible distances is a great thing to do. But rather than it being an individual pursuit, rather than it being about your latest Strava stats or your PB or trying to beat your friends, do it with your friends. Come together and achieve something incredible together. So the whole idea of Run to Paris was born. And we started off thinking, we'll do it as a 1 hour start at London and run continuously and do that. And actually you're like, you know what, let's just make it fun. Let's make it a really enjoyable experience. Make it as achievable as possible for as many people as possible. And genuinely, to this day, I think if you can run a 10K, you can run to Paris. So it's playing the incredible song Bohemian Like You, which is one of my all-time favourites, but that doesn't really matter. But what you can kind of hopefully shows here is that actually the relay run works because of the car, and that's why that road trip element is so important. You can kind of see some of the distances on day one. All the legs are completely different. Some are through urban, some are through countryside, some are up hills, some are through forests, some are through trails. It really is everything in a single event. The whole idea is that you sit down as a team and you work out which leg you're going to do. There's a whole sort of problem solving. You wake up one morning, you think, I'm feeling great, I'll do the slightly tougher one. You wake up one morning and you think, I'll do the shorter one. It really is very flexible. campsites every evening. And then my favorite thing about the whole event is the last mile. So the whole team run the last mile together and everyone runs up to the Eiffel Tower. And that's just like the most amazing experience. We get teams supporting each other. We get friends and family coming out. We just get that like incredible experience. And literally the Eiffel Tower is right there. Like it is amazing. So, and then we all go to the pub afterwards and have a big party in the local pub. So it's, yeah, of all of the events I've ever done in my life, this is like beyond doubt the best. It is just everything. Don't underestimate it. It's still a tough physical challenge. You're still running 4 days in a row. Some of the stages are pretty tough. On day one of the legs goes up Ditchley Beacon. And there's an ice cream van at the top. But yeah, it's it's physically challenging, but it's not going to break you in the same way as signing up to like an ultramarathon will or a race to the stones will. You'll be able to come back on Monday morning and go to everyone in your office, what did you do last weekend? Oh, I ran to Paris. And you'll be walking into the office and you'll be having a chat with people and you'll be having a lovely time. Like, a couple of things that I think are really useful to know. The timings. So we start each day pretty early and each stage has a 3-hour cutoff. So essentially we start at 6 a.m. There's a cutoff at 9 a.m., 12, 3, and 6. And so all the legs are different lengths. And you sit down with your team. So you could have a fast runner in your team, a slow runner in your team. Yeah, a couple of medium runners. If the first runner does their leg in 2 hours, the second runner has got 4 hours to do their leg. So it compounds. So really, you can mix different runners of different abilities. Most of the fun, I mean, the routes are amazing. Some of those legs are just absolutely incredible. And for those that have done it before, I'm sure you can say, I'm sure you've talked about it. I still say you can do the event 5 years running and never run the same leg twice, until someone told me you ran the last mile 5 times, but that'll be all right. It's the variety of the terrain, it's the variety of the routes, and the ability to all come together. So the routes are incredible, but actually it's time in the car where all the laughs are had. You've got 3 hours while someone's doing their leg to go and find a little French patisserie shop or to a little like French cafe or get a little stubby beer somewhere or a pastry somewhere, and just to have that sort of experience all together in the car, playing your tunes, turning up at the checkpoints. All of these checkpoints become like little running festivals, and you start chatting to the other teams that are taking part. You start running with different people from different teams. What we've really noticed is that, like, right, so day one, everyone's really excited to be with their team. It's you and your friends. You finally got to the start line. You're doing it. You're running it. It's amazing. We catch the overnight ferry. Day two is a really short day. It's about 10K each per person. You've had a long first day, an overnight ferry. You need a pretty steady day. We get to the campsite on day two, which has just opened a new swimming pool. Very exciting. And you found you're running like the people you've fallen into step with, and you see them in the campsite and you have a little chat and you have a beer, and we're all sat out in the sun because it's absolutely guaranteed to be glorious weather. And you get chatting to people. And then on day three, groups start forming, and suddenly it's not 3 people running together, it's 5 people running together or 10 people running together. And by like day 4, honestly, it's just amazing. It's just like these big groups of people all running at, it's an easy, steady run. You've got plenty of time. You're not trying to get a PB. You're chatting to different people. You're all together. And then that finish line is like nothing I've ever experienced. You all get together. Be aware, runner 5 has just run a half marathon. And they meet up with their other 4 friends. And their 4 friends are like, it's the last mile to the Eiffel Tower. That last run, you can always tell at the finish line who's run the big leg before. But yeah, that last mile, you run up and you're running along the Seine and you cross the Seine and you see the Eiffel Tower and you run right up to the Eiffel Tower. Like, there is just nothing else like it. It's the best finish line in the whole of running. So yeah, I would more than anything recommend you sign up. We are going to launch our 2026 date or event, open registration, next Wednesday. So you're getting kind of the first kind of previews The dates for next year are the 30th of April to the 4th of May. So it's the first bank holiday weekend. And then the 10th of September to the 13th of September. So 2 events next year. So yeah, we are for the running community. It's about bringing more people to have these incredible experiences. I was a bit sad that I didn't get here in time tonight to join your club run because I just want to see a bit more of Cheltenham. But yeah, I love it. And yeah, if you've done it before, come back because it will be as good the second time round, I promise, if not better, because you know what to expect and you know not to go crazy on day one and to enjoy it a bit more. And I think it will give you a really great new perspective and you'll run different legs. And if you haven't done it before, sign up and do it because honestly, it will be the absolute running event of your year.
You just talk about the charity.
Yes. So one of the other things that I think is really important about it is that we work in partnership with Parkinson's. We're not going to be with SAFA next year, unfortunately. But yeah, we work in partnership with Parkinson's UK. And I've got a connection to Parkinson's, and I'm sure lots of people, friends of friends and connections, it's a really horrible thing. So we set each person that signs up a £400 fundraising target. So bear in mind that you sign up for a local half marathon or a marathon, it's going to be about that sort of fundraising target. And this is 4 half marathons in 4 days. So we think it's a really achievable target. It's £100 a day, essentially. And everything you raise goes to support that charity. So we've got representatives from the charity there. A couple of years ago, we had a team of people who were case studies and beneficiaries of the charity, which was an amazing experience and really humbling. And seeing them coming into the finish line was a really emotional thing. But yeah, a really big part of it is not just the training and the preparation, but also the impact that the event is having moving forward.
And last year we actually put on a jazz concert right in this very room and raised quite a bit of money that way as well. So it's not that we were, I suppose everyone is kind of expected to raise around 400, but some will raise more in your team and others may raise less. Some of you may have other things that you're raising funds with, so maybe it might be a challenge for you to get the money together. No one's going to come down hard on you, but obviously we want to see that you're putting your efforts in to raise as much as you can for the charities. And but we will also I mean, it's one of the best things about last time was meeting up and discussing, right, transport, fundraising, what we're doing for fundraising. You know, we had all sorts of ideas that we were working through, and in the end, the concert worked out the best. But it's something that you don't necessarily think about as the build up to this event. It really is a brilliant team building thing, not just for the event itself, but in the months and months and months building up to it, the team meetings, the WhatsApp group, there's a lot of organisation and good stuff happening and training as well beforehand.
Yeah. Anyone got any questions about the event? So we start at Wimbledon. Yeah. So again, just to chat through a bit the logistics. Everyone arrives in Wimbledon on the Wednesday night. So we have a big registration. Historically, we've been in the cricket club. The football club want us to come to them, but we'll see where we are in May next year. So we start in the cricket club in Wimbledon. There's a bar. There's food and things put on by the bar. You come and you collect your registration pack. So you get your T-shirt, you get your participant pack, which has got your ferry tickets in it. It's got everything sorted. So you get your trackers. So let's talk about the trackers as well. We pride ourselves on making sure that we give the best event experience that it's possible to do. We go above and beyond to make sure that A, you're safe, and B, that you have the best experience possible. So every single person gets their own participant pack, which is like their little guide to how it works. So you get a route pack, you get a participant Bible, everyone gets their own running number, and then you have a team tracker. So the team tracker is essentially your relay baton. So that tracker is the thing that lets us know where you are. So everyone's got this satellite tracker. We've got our lovely friend Aaron, who sits in a bunker in Scotland, who just watches all of these dots move across on his computer. And so there's a big event control that runs. So we know exactly where you are at all times. We use an app called RunGo, which is like a navigation device. It gives you audio in your ears. It tells you you're running along and it says, turn right in 100 meters. And it's improving and improving every year, which is great. You also have all the GPX files and people like using watches, and I mean, in 5 years' time, everyone will have that sort of stuff. But like, it's about making sure that everyone's safe. Worst case scenario, the GPS tracking has a live website. So essentially, you are a blue dot on the site, and you can follow that dot along the red route. I mean, it really is like there's 5 different ways we make sure you're safe. All of the checkpoints are marked, so the car's going to these designated checkpoints. That's where the changeover happens. So you arrive into the checkpoint, you sign in, you hand over the tracker, someone signs out, and you carry on. So you know exactly who's running at all times. Kind of, yeah, your safety and your kind of experience is really important. You get food in the mornings and evenings. So day 1 in New Haven, we have fish and chips by the seaside, which is lovely. Day 2, we go to the local town hall, which is just amazing. The local mayor comes down and gee crazy. There's like a big buffet and a big hall and a big stage. It's really fun, everyone eating together and having like local cider and local beers. And then day 3, we're at this incredible chateau. And like we're in the grounds of the chateau and we've got a big stretch tent and we do a big barbecue and there's like beers and there's massage and stretching and all sorts of things going on. So yeah, it is unlike any event experience you'll have, and it's brilliant.
You get your own tent.
Oh yes.
You get your own. No, you get your own tent, and they.
Yeah. So you arrive into the base camp. We have.
Don't carry any except the fence wander. One person. Yeah. Fence wanders carry.
So you got your team car that's got all your kit in it. So all you need to bring a sleeping bag, a roll mat, and changes of clothes, and that's in your team car. The hubs, the base camps, we put 250 tents up. You've got a participant number. It corresponds with a tent number. That is your tent. They are really cool, like blackout 2-man tents. They're pretty big 2-man tents, and each person has that. So you've got your own tent, your own space.
The whole thing.
There are showers, there are toilets at some of the checkpoints. The joy of running in France is that you turn up on we go on the recce, we chat to the local mayor. Are the toilets going to be open? Yeah, they're open every day, no problem at all, absolutely fine. We turn up on the day, they're locked. You ring the local mayor, no answer, they're locked. So we will never promise you toilets at any location in France. But for a lot of the locations, there are toilets. The team car obviously has got those 3 hours to go for a McWee, to find a little cafe, to do that. There are showers every evening. The campsites are really great, actually, which helps.
I think you mentioned it's sort of busy on the side. Whether you have like a little niggle halfway through, is there?
Yeah.
Like just someone saying, I've got something tired.
So we've got 3 medics on the route. So we've got an event doctor and 2 paramedics who are like absolutely brilliant. So the way we look at it is you've got big sick and you've got little sick. So they're there for the kind of big sick if anything happens. And then we've got our massage team who are, they are actually called the Athletes Angels. So we just call them the Angels, but I think I need to explain that because I just keep calling them the Angels without any of that back context. So we have 4 of them, and they set up a camp at the base camp each night. There's a £10 charge for 15 minutes, and essentially it's just a booking system. And they are sports therapists, physios, and all qualified masseurs. So that's just a really good thing. On the second night in Forges, one of them often leads like a sort of like stretching Pilates group session, which is always quite good fun. You just have these bodies strewn everywhere doing downward dog. But yeah.
On the final day,
Yeah.
It's right combination.
Yeah, so the first time we organised it, we were like, tell you what we'll do, we'll just book a big hotel and everyone will go to it. And then everyone was like, well, no, my family's coming out, or I've got a bit more budget, or I haven't got enough budget. And actually, once you're in Paris, you're with your team, you're with your mates, you're with everything. Like, people just want to do different things. So essentially what we ended up doing was just booking a big pub nearby, and everyone goes to the pub and has a few drinks, and some people the crew tend to have more than a few drinks. And then everyone just kind of bomb blasts. Your entry fee includes a return ferry ticket. So everyone is automatically booked back on the midday ferry the next day. It is possible to change it and move it around, but there's like an admin fee for doing that. But yeah, essentially every ticket includes a return for your team vehicle to get into France and back home. Yes. So whether that's something you hire, whether it's someone's got a big car, that essentially is your support the whole time. So yeah, person 1 starts, the car drives to checkpoint 1, person 2 gets out and gets in, and you just... So the May event last year, we had 42 teams, so 210 people, which was a lot. We put a new cap of 40 teams per event. We're doing 2 events this year, so we took 25 teams in May, and we've got 22 teams signed up for September. I think next year is going to be bigger. I think probably both events are going to sell out next year. Not a race. Not a race. Yeah, and one of the...
Pretty cool though.
You get a medal.
You do get a medal.
You do get a medal. It's a good medal. Yeah.
You really need to not think of this like a race or a series of races. It is literally tourism on your feet. We're walking up big hills. We're jogging on the flat. It's not a race.
Our absolute priority is that all 5 of you can run that last mile to the Eiffel Tower. Like, it is not about a PB on day 1. Couldn't care less. You have to be fit enough to run that last mile to the Eiffel Tower. So kind of pace yourself accordingly to be able to do that. 10th to the 13th of September. So, yeah.
If we could do that, questions.
Oh, sorry, can I? Yeah, no, go. Yeah, you had 2 questions. Yeah.
I'm going to be the person who asks how much is the
So it's £950 for a team.
Quite fine. Just under 200 quid. And that's breakfast and dinner included. So lots of food.
and dairy and campsites. So you don't really have to pay for anything apart from lunch.
It's an accommodation on the Wednesday. Right, so you drive down the day before London, the actual accommodation there. Obviously, depending on how many nights you stay afterwards, accommodation and everything after that.
Okay, so accommodation
The macarons in Paris are quite expensive.
You don't like? Oh, I love lunch.
I spent the day we had there afterwards. I spent the whole day running around Paris trying every macaron. I tell you now, Laura, the best macaron.
My second question was, you said about running 4 half marathons in 4 days. Does everybody expected to run that distance every day?
So it's 225 miles between Wimbledon and the Eiffel Tower on our route. So you divide that by 5 people by 4 days. It averages about 12 miles a day. But some legs are 17 miles and some legs are 6 miles.
So you could do a shorter run one day and a longer run next.
Yeah, and what we did last time, we balance it in the teams. So within your team, you look at who's a stronger runner, who's not strong, who's feeling good that day, who's not, and you pick a leg that suits you. So it's within the team, it balances. So if you don't think you're strong enough to run 12 hours a day, then you could do the shorter legs every day, and you just agree that with your team. That's fine.
The runner who did the shortest distance did 60 kilometres, so divided by 4 days, 60k, and 15 kilometres. Sorry, if you work in miles, that's what's 15?
9 miles a day.
So that was what she did. But bear in mind, if we've got 2 or 3 or 4 teams, if you don't feel up to running, you don't run. Someone else will do it. Like we had 8 people running on the same leg. Do you understand?
Yeah, we broke the systems a bit with that.
So there's always people who are keen to do more. All right. So the average person in the group did a lot more than a half marathon a day. Okay, because they were just doing it, just running twice a day or 3. Some idiots did 3 times a day. Do you understand? Like,
Calling it idiot.
Pick the shorter ones if you want.
yes.
But genuinely, what we've found is that, so day 1 is a tough day. You kind of got all that hype. I don't know how this works. How can I do the navigation? The legs are quite long. So it's all new. Day 2 is such a short, flat day. We're going down this old train line called the Avenue Vert, which is like completely flat, completely straight.
Flatter than the Honeyball line.
It's amazing.
It's flatter than the Honeyball, wider than the Honeyball line.
And you're running past like
Lakes.
chateaus and like French villages. You're suddenly like, where am I and what am I doing? And it's like 6 mile lengths. Everyone's doing like 6 miles, and you get 3 hours. I mean, like it's fine. It's like a really good recovery day. Day 3, I'm not going to promise this, but a few people have said that who were daunted by taking it on, is that by day 3, something in their body goes, oh, I know how this works. And you kind of just find a rhythm that works for you. Again, you do not have to be fast on this event. This is not a race. And then day 4 is just like, well, Paris is there, and suddenly everyone's like, we know the timings, this is fine, the average person is this fast, and the quickest person is this fast, and the slowest person is this fast. On day 4 it does this. And we're just like, take it easy, and we're like bombing it into Paris to get there before you, because you're all just flying along. Like, it's a really like, it's a physically demanding thing. Prepare properly and be ready for it. But like, this isn't an ultra marathon that you need a 6-month training schedule and 4 times a week and up your mileage and up your mileage. Like, a good fit person can do this.
I didn't run for more than 24k in training, and on that last day, I think I did around 40 kilometers on 2 legs. I did one of the first legs, which was just amazing off-road trail run that we did, and then it was like I had the next 2 legs in the car thinking about whether I was going to take on the last leg of the day, which is the run into Paris, all on road just through the parks of Paris. It was amazing, and just did it. How many were on that last leg?
I was a driver for that day. That's why I'm considering doing it again, because I wanted to do that.
Just running through the parks. It was such an amazing route. And you think running through Paris, you're going to be crossing roads everywhere.
And it's downhill.
It's a downhill road.
Yeah. I think the bit that really struck me, I think it was on day 3, when Connor, you might have been there. It was you, me, and Bish running up a hill in the middle of some farmland, and we'd seen some plains overhead. And we got up to the top of this hill. It wasn't a big hill; it was a nice hill. Got up to the top, and we saw the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
And it was the first time we'd seen it, and we just looked at it. We're like, "Wow,
Just way off in the
we're
distance.
going to be there tomorrow." It was spectacular, and you knew from that point, it was like, we are so close.
Yeah. Yeah, special.
Probably a question about when do you want us to let you know if we want to sign up to it, I guess? And in terms of teams then, how will the team start to form? Say you've got 30 people in the running club, how do you break it up, I guess?
Yeah, I haven't put a timeline together. We definitely want to have a timeline of when we need cut-offs. That would probably be down to when the early bird finishes and things like that. But the way I envisage it is that we just want to get as many people into that WhatsApp group as possible, and that kind of tells us how many people are interested, and then we can start feeding the numbers. This is when we need that entry fee by, and then once we've got entry fees, we start talking about roles in regards to organisation and things. One of the members is very interested in taking on a key role with delegation, I guess, project managing, which is really important. We had Nick last year, which was fantastic. Everyone pitches in, but obviously having someone to sort of oversee things is great. So at the moment, where are we? We're in July. Any idea when the early bird ends?
So opening registration next week, and we are going to cap it at 40. So it will be kind of first come, first serve for places. The early bird will run until the end of October. That goes from 950 to 1200. So really keen to kind of at least lock in, or pause it, or do something just to kind of secure the places as early as possible. So I think
Before October.
Let's see. Start October. So I think I'm going to be really busy through the summer holidays, but I'll definitely be putting things out And then, yeah, we'll start to ask for commitment. It sounds like sometime in September. But we'll have a few meetings in September.
What I remember last year, because we did like 3 teams of 5, and that was like convenient, but we might have like 17 and that sort of stuff. So I think we discussed last year, and I don't know if you'd be able to do it for next year, that we may have like a team of 6. And then, at one stage, somebody like 2 people run the same leg. So we can have uneven numbers. It doesn't have to be teams of 5, it could be teams of 6, even 7.
I mean, the other thing that has happened in the past, which, yes, it's really lovely that you're all kind of doing it as a club, and that's a great thing, but there might be a couple of teams that perhaps have 4 members, and that you become their fit, someone gets injured a couple of weeks before, and that you become their fit member, and then you can kind of support your teams as well, which is a really nice thing. Like, it is that idea of, like, you start off as individual teams, and you become one by the end of it. Like, we had, this year doing it, people that signed up for the event you were going to do, but couldn't do it because of injury. And then in the intervening time, one got injured and one got pregnant. So they had 3 people. And there was a team of Aussie women that did it, that were just like their complete backup team. And they ran some of the legs that the boys couldn't run. And yeah, they all finished together at the end, and it was lovely. And then the Australians made all the Irish boys do shoeies. They like shoe. And honestly, 4 days of running through the countryside.
They have to go from their running shoes.
Yeah. So yeah, like that idea of like you're actually all supporting each other is a really great thing. So yeah, you come as a big group, but actually there's a whole group of other people as well. So like if there are kind of 6s and 7s, there might be other teams that kind of are looking.
We will also be accepting people who aren't club members as well. So if you know other people that are interested, by all means, invite them in. And if, say, we did have, let's just say 17 kind of something, there's probably extra individuals that put in their individual entry, is that right? So they can be planted into our team.
Really flexible. And yeah, we work really closely with you guys to make sure that everything is done, and we can do team briefings, and we can do captains briefings and everything. So there's a big stewardship plan from when you sign up to make sure that you turn up on that Wednesday like fully prepared. Also, there's noticed that's really cool is it's Cheltenham Beyond. One of the lines.
And also, just from a training perspective, guys, we have this WhatsApp group, obviously, and once the committed ones are in there, then I'll be pushing in messages in regards to, I guess, guidance on what sort of total weekly distance you might be aiming for at different points building up to the event. I hope that we would get members together for doing some trail running together. And yeah, so there's a lot. And look, if someone's I give a lot more coach guidance to people who are committed to run to Paris than I would to the average annual member. So, because it's in everyone's best interest that they show up to this event, right? So, if you have any niggles, you message me and I can suggest maybe a video to watch or getting an assessment done if we think it's a problem or could be a problem. So, there is a lot of coach guidance and support for the physical side of things as well, just to help people keep on top of the mileage and things. Yeah.
You were talking about the commitment for running marathons, etc., etc. How much of a commitment is this for the person that has a busy life but would like to try and do it?
So, how many times do you run a week normally?
Now, I could run 3 times, but I don't.
Yeah,
because that makes me
fine. So you've got a really
You've got motivation all of a sudden.
Yeah, baseline of fitness. It's amazing what the body can achieve. But the better prepared you are, the more you'll enjoy it. It's the cumulative that's unusual. And again, it's the long day, short day, long day, short day. So you're never really building the mileage crazily unless you just have 3 legs in one day with daily life.
I'm just thinking from the organisational point of view and the meetings and everything like that. Does it take over your life?
No. The meetings
That
we did
sounds
probably
bad, but-
must have done 3 or 4 on a Thursday night after a club run.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
Every 4 to 5 weeks, isn't it? Something like
Yeah.
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which event are you going to target to do? May or the September?
May.
May.
It's got a lot going. Oh, if there was people that wanted to do September, I'm not guaranteeing that I'd be involved, but I'd be happy to push it if we had enough people that wanted to do September as well instead of next September. That's fine. No, it's not us who is. Next yes, September. But they're saying they're opening entries for next September as well. Andy?
Which one are we not mainly doing? May.
May. Yeah. There's a lot going on in September. We've got Cheltenham, Run Cheltenham in September. Yeah.
Just that, we were saying that the Manchester Marathon is 2 weeks before. I think the training class, that's probably quite convenient actually in terms of trades.
You'll do all of them long way.
No excuses.
Flying beast for
Let's try to.
What we tend to say is if you can run it to like 10 miles, you can do a training plan at 10 miles, you're pretty well prepared. And if you do a 10-mile run and then the next day you go out with a 5-10, probably fine.
But also, guys, what Steve was saying about all of a sudden just finding a rhythm. Like I was always really worried about the idea of running on back-to-back days because I pretty much coach everyone not to do that. But there was something that happened, so I was really quite sore after day one. I don't know why I ran with Trev. Maybe it was too slow. But the next day I was like, we did a 10K. And I felt pretty tight for that. But then I was like, come the end of the day, it's like, actually, I feel like doing another run. And I did the second one. I did the first, it was probably the first one at like 6 a.m. in the morning. And the last one at the end of the day. And then on the third day, expecting to be knackered, just felt like, I don't know, it just felt great. It's because it's never a lung capacity thing. It's never that your lungs are blowing. Do you understand? The pace isn't enough for that. Even if you hit a massive hill, you're not going fast enough for it to be a problem for your lungs. You're never going to feel nauseous unless you don't drink enough water. But it's more just, the energy you store in your legs, but actually the adaptations you make from the first day and the second day, come day 3, you've just learned a rhythm and, there must be something physiological to it that I don't understand. But, it is real. Yeah.
I mean, I think the pace works out just like 9 to 10, isn't it? 9 to 10K, sort of like the pace where you sort of jog out. It's really quite slow, isn't it? Really?
It's slower than that for the off-road run. It's like 7 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is there's no pressure for pace.
No.
As you said, you just out and you enjoy being outside and running with the weights and running with the people around you and meeting new people. And I think by day 3 we had some music going. We were having a big group of people together. It was great fun.
It was like a party.
I mean, you stop and look at the views.
Also, what the teams did, the car did, instead of just going from one transition to the next, they would actually go about halfway and just intercept the group. As you can see, the car can see where the runner is. So you just basically make sure that you find a cut-off point ahead of them, and you're waiting there for them with water and jelly babies and whatever else. Strawberries. There we go. And then they stop, get some photos. I mean, a lot of the videos that you see here will actually be the intercept points where we've basically found them, got the camera rolling, and it's grabbing some jelly babies and getting some water and then heading off again.
I don't know if you can quite see on there, but we're stopping by massive churches and incredible chateaux. Incredible. It's just the route is really beautiful. It's very rural. Like on day 3, you are running on roads, so like dressed brightly and colourfully and but they're very, very quiet rural roads. In fact, our 45 cars are turning up, like double the whole road capacity of the whole thing. So that's why it's like making sure that we keep the numbers sensible, but we work really closely with all the local mayors and local places to make sure that they're.
I mean, this is a checkpoint there. Like the checkpoints are amazing. We've got so many people there, all clapping people in, and it's not just clapping in your teammates; it's other teams as well. The checkpoints were something special. A handover.
Bit of a boring question, sorry. When do you anticipate you need money by?
September.
Okay. Not like next week.
No. Late September, as I say, we'll be looking to, I guess, if the early bird's going to close in October, we want to get in before the early bird, basically. So we want that's really it. That's in my head. That's the cut off. But that's just
One thing,
80 to 70.
yeah, one thing that we offer, I don't know if you guys want to do it, but we do split payments.
Okay.
So yeah, we can split the payments in like 3 payments, like 3 months.
And then the additional 400 each for charity. When is that? Is there a cut-off date for that to be raised as well?
So we have a target that you've got to raise £300 a month before the event.
A month before.
Yeah.
That's
Within the team.
So it'd be £1,500 for a team. So essentially the way the system works is you all register individually, but you're a team. So there'll be 5 of you in a team with a team captain. You'll have each have an individual fundraising page, so you can send that to your mum. But you can also, you've got a team fundraising page. So if there's 3 of you that work at the same place, you can send that around the office and people can donate to the team. All the individual pages add up to the team page, and we just go off to team one. So someone's just £1,500 by themselves.
And was it, so it's just under £200 each renter, and we need accommodation in London and for and Paris at the end?
Essentially, and then things like fuel and food, snack food.
We were talking about it, and I reckon, because we stayed an extra night, so that was on top. So we had a day as a tourist in Paris, and so we came in on the Tuesday instead of the Monday. And we talked, we reckon it's probably about total cost for the 4 days, including all of that, be about £1,000.
Worst case.
Yeah.
That'll each.
Yeah, so you pay for the accommodation, you contribute to the fuel, you pay for the Airbnb, we stay for 2 nights instead of just the one, things like that. So, and the cost of buying your food during the day and drink and whatever you want to, probably costing us £1,000, I think.
A lot of those costs come out later, not until you actually get to the event.
But we also upgraded by we had a little cheat where we got cabins as well, so we were able to book a little bit of cabins. Yeah, see, I'll tell you the secret on what, but
on fair.
You can't do a group, I think.
no, we did a foot passenger, so booked the cabins and then so we booked the cabins and then rooms.
Before chair
Can you think what we did that?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Connor and I slept on the floor of the bar on the ferry.
Convenient, that.
We got the proper experience. The rest of us had 2 years in life.
We weren't quite anticipating everyone to
That next day probably was a good chunk of that ramp because you have Paris and
Exactly.
So
So staying the extra night is always completely optional.
Yeah.
So we need to fly back on Monday. And
It was a good thing to stay the extra day because you really Paris, but see a few times.
Yep. Any other questions, guys?
All depends also if we've got several teams and some don't want to, some can't come back.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
There's so many benefits of having multiple teams. I mean, some of the individual teams, seeing some of the guys will tell they're wrecked from either running too fast or just not having anyone to take the easy legs. We would generally match up our steadiest runners together and the fastest runners together. So you never feel pressured. But then some people, James wanted to run with everyone at one stage in the event. But it's always a really leisurely pace. I think that's the most important thing. If you're worried about the distance or the effect on your body, just understand that you can walk a lot of it. Well, certainly the hills anyway.
And I think with regards to the effect on the body, it's amazing what the little disabilities and the vulnerabilities and of solving those problems. I can also recommend there's a lovely cheese shop we found, which is an amazing cheese. There's several bakeries. The food that you get, the snack food when you're going around and you're
Does the
exploring.
cheese fix the shin splits?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think. Well, Frank, did you want to
Done.
Well, I didn't much more I can add, really.
Done lots. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most people say, I would say it's something I saw like 3 years ago, and it just grew and grew within the club until we did it. And it is certainly the best sort of like running event that I've ever done. And I might, I'm down the, well, if I've been interested, wife to let me go. Then I might be doing it again next year, because there's bits that, Rob said, that I didn't do last time, but I want to do, I do it again. So there's so much things nice to see. And yeah, and I think probably I did injure my foot training for it. I probably trained too hard. Probably, but you don't have to, looking back, probably didn't have to train as hard as I was training.
What's he got?
That's about it, yeah. But pretty much mostly it's been covered, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right, quick round of applause again for.
For that, James. Oh, they are running fast.
Going around it. Yeah,